All right. Hello and welcome to the Tuesday live stream. While you're joining us, go ahead and say hello and let us know that you're in the house. And, actually, because today is all about market research. And market research for some authors consists of really a quick look on their bookshelf to see if there's any books there that are like the ones they want to write. For others, it consists of a deep dive into every book written in the category that they're planning to publish in and visits to the library and to the bookstores. But for a lot of us, they think, well, I should do some market research, but they don't actually know what to do. So while we're letting folks arrive, why don't you tell me? Do you do any market research when you're writing your book? Let me know. Give me a shout out. Let me know that you're here, and let other folks know that you're here. Because of course we have prizes, and I've only actually got the mug here. My All right, so you guys just missed all of that. Wow, I had mute on my microphone. And what you missed is the fact that I went to show you the hashtag no boring books mug. And I spilt coffee all over myself. So not only could you not hear me, you missed the fact that I spilt coffee all over myself. So I've just messaged for a towel delivery. Thank you. Ah, all right. So why don't we start this all over again, shall we? Now that you guys are all here to witness this and we can watch it on replay afterwards. How embarrassing. Okay. All right. So hello and welcome to the Tuesday live stream. For those of you who don't know who this clumsy person is, I'm Julie, the book broad with Book Launchers. And today we're chatting about market research. And I will carefully pick up the hashtag no boring books mug. I forgot. It's often just sitting on my desk. And this morning I actually drank coffee out of it. And there was apparently some left. So, all right. So everybody's getting the hang of this, saying hello. And thank you for letting me know there was no sound. And I think I'm mostly cleaned up now. The floor, we'll have to tend to that later. Okay, so market research. As I was saying when you guys couldn't hear me, let me know. Do you do market research for your book? I'm curious. That's what we're chatting about today. For some authors, market research consists of looking on their bookshelf to see if there's any other books like the one they're planning to write. Others will do a deep dive into the library system or into the shelves on Amazon, and really try to research everything. So today, to me, there's really three main categories of research you can do as an author. There is research into your reader. There is topic research, and this is more like your subject, like if you're doing extra research for your book. And then there's metadata research. There's other kinds of research, but if I was to put them into three big buckets, those are the buckets that I would focus on. Really today, I'm going to focus on reader research. And then I'm also going to touch on metadata research as far as helping you figure out if you're writing a book that is likely to have a market waiting for a book like that. So that's where I thought we would focus. Of course, if you guys have questions and you want me to go a different direction, we certainly can do that. And while you're here, make sure you say hello, because there will be prizes for joining in today. And there's always prizes for those of you who've been commenting the day a video is released. That goes for you, folks, watching the live stream replay because you couldn't make it today. I'm still giggling about the fact that I'm sitting in a pile of coffee, wet coffee right now. Oh dear. All right, so that's what we're going to cover today. So I'm just going to see who's here and give you guys a shout out, and then I'm going to dive into talking about doing some reader research. So let me just see who's here. All right. Okay, so hello, Kevin, Mike, Vending Guy 47. Happy Tuesday. Bree, welcome. Robert Bell, Mike Hurd. RO thought that they were going deaf. Yeah, no, just me. Kevin number 2. So good to have you here. So Kevin McGuire, just so you know, Kevin number 2 has labeled himself Kevin number 2 because of you. The audacious kid. Hello. Okay. So market research, a couple of you are saying, what is market research? And then Kevin number 2 is saying, yes, I research. So everybody kind of comes at it differently. And I mean, the thing is, I want to be clear that I don't, oh, hey, Jill, welcome. Good to have you here. I don't think that it's vital. That's my take on this. I have certainly seen authors who have done absolutely no research whatsoever, and their books are great, and they sell well, and they do really well. They achieve their goals with their book. I've seen other authors do so much research that they become paralyzed and they actually can't take action. So I think there is value, tremendous value in research, but I don't think you have to do it. There is metadata research, yes, I think you have to do it. But when I'm talking about reader research, you don't necessarily have to do it. The thing is, if you've already studied your industry, extensively, and you know the players, you know what they're talking about, you know who's listening to them. And if you work one-on-one with people, so you're in one of those kind of industries or businesses where you're talking directly to the type of person you're writing the book for, you already know your reader. You know them, you know who they're listening to, you know what scares them, you know what their hopes are, you know what their obstacles are. You're already set up to talk directly to that reader. Because really, to me, reader research is all about becoming a mind reader, getting into the head of that person that you're writing for. And sorry, I just got a note that the video quality is distorted. And I don't think there's anything on my end that I can do to make it better today. It's just a bad Wi-Fi day. So hopefully you guys stick with me and we can make this video better, or maybe it was Angela's video. Hopefully it's just Angela's that's having the video distortion problem. Now that we got the audio sorted out, now my video is wonky. So really, what I'm trying to say is market research, when it comes to figuring out your reader, a lot of people don't need it because they are already entrenched in it. But I do think that first you need to do a check and figure out if you can actually explain who your reader is, what their hopes and dreams are, what the obstacles that they commonly face are. Because a lot of people are writing books for a very general audience. And when you do this, you will not be able to clearly articulate what their hopes and dreams are. You're probably saying, my book is going to help people, my book will inspire people. And that is way too general for the majority of authors. When you're not already famous, it is very difficult to sell an inspirational, motivational book. You have to offer something more. And in order to offer something more, you need to get deep into the head of that ideal reader and speak directly to them. So, I think a lot of people fall into the trap of thinking this is demographics. You think, oh, my reader is between the ages of 20 to 40, and, they've got a job in corporate America and, whatever like that. You go demographically, but that is not the same as understanding them emotionally. And a good example, actually, we have a client, Alec Hansen, whose book is called Bypassed, and it's coming out. It's for mortgage professionals who are getting left behind by the digital consumer. And Alec could have written a book that was for any mortgage professional, thinking that, every mortgage professional will benefit from his book, which they will. But that doesn't get you clear enough, because there are a lot of mortgage professionals, and there's some that are new to the industry. There's some that are veterans. And that doesn't get, again, it doesn't speak to the things they're afraid of, the things they're not doing well. But when you say, this is for mortgage professionals who are getting left behind by the digital age, the digital consumer, you can start to visualize that they're now, and in a lot of cases, they've been in the industry for a long time. They've been relying on that referral business, but that referral business isn't as strong for them anymore, because a lot of their customers, even if they get a referral, are still going to Google or an online search portal of some kind, which can be Facebook and it can be somewhere else. And they're looking to research this person before they contact them, even if they did get a referral. So they need to understand how to create those online assets and build that brand online, so they're connecting with that digital consumer. So when you understand who this person is and you've drilled down like he is, his book will help any mortgage broker who wants to build a business online. but it has a very clear market and a very clear benefit. And you can speak very clearly to these people who maybe have had a Facebook page, but they don't use it. They haven't updated their website since they built it 10 years ago. You can speak directly to that. So hopefully you guys can see the difference. And that's where you want to get to. If you aren't clear enough on your reader feedback or on your reader identity that you can kind of talk about your reader like that, then this is where reader research really comes in. So if you're just arriving, do say hello. And Kevin says it's wiggly there too. It could, if it's wiggling, it could be me. So I will try not to touch my table. I have just a fold up table, a temporary office setup. So it could be me. So I'll try not to make it, too wiggly. Okay. I have technical details to fact check. Yeah, for sure. That's good market research. Chat 'em up. Woo. Hey, thank you. Good. Thank you for being here. I love that handle, by the way. It's very, very cool. And Mark is in the house too. And Pablo, hello. Thank you for saying hello. So that's what I want to cover with regards to the reader research. And I think the first question to ask yourself is what problem does your ideal reader have that you're going to help them with? And so, your expertise, your stories and the things you want to talk about. If you have your ideal reader dialed in, like Alec does with that example, then you already know the problems that they have. And that's what you want. So if you're not there yet, I recommend lurking around on Facebook groups, going to live streams like this, where, it's somebody that's already an influencer in the space, or it's somebody that's talking about a similar subject to yours, and listen to the comments. Join in on the comments and the conversation. Facebook groups are a really great place as well. I actually spend not a lot of time, but a couple times a week, I drop into a couple of core Facebook groups that I'm a part of, and I read the questions. And sometimes I post links to my videos because I often have the answer already in the form of a video for them. But I often post I often write down the questions that I'm seeing on a regular basis, and those become the subjects for future videos. But it also gives me a sense of the things that people are struggling with and that they're worried about. And when we're talking about nonfiction books in our genre, in our kind of specialty area, helping people grow businesses and build a brand, that helps me really keep our ideal client, but also an ideal reader in mind. So I recommend you doing that if you're not already doing it. I also like going to Quora, Quora.com, and just type in, if you were doing a book on, some sort of a cancer, you could type in that. Or if you're doing a book for retirement planning, you could type that in. Or mortgages, whatever it is, you could type it in and just see the questions. And so you'll get main questions. Or if you have a question, like, how do I lose weight without cutting out cake? You can put that in there and see what the answers are. People vote up their favorite answers, so you get to see which answers people like. You can see rebuttals and comments underneath. And then on the right-hand side, it also has related questions. So this gives you a lot of insights as well into the problems, but also the answers. I always pay special attention to the comments and what books, what courses, what people are being referred to. Side bonus for you here, folks. Those people and books, those also can be potential influencers that you reach out for endorsements for your book, as well as potential promotional partners that you can find some sort of a win-win to partner with. So this kind of research will help you write a book that's connected to your reader, and you can already start thinking about your marketing when you're doing this. So I highly recommend you're keeping a list of those because again, you start contacting them early and start building a relationship. Showing up on their live streams, commenting on their YouTube videos, participating in whatever they've got going on. So when you reach out and say, hey, I've got a book coming out, would you mind giving me an endorsement? They're much more likely to say yes to you. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying over here. So how do you introduce yourself as an author to somebody who has data you need for your book? So that would be going into our topic research. And really, the fact that you're writing a book is often a good in. And again, always, the one thing I can say, no matter what reason you're contacting somebody, is be respectful of their time and make it as easy as possible for them to say yes to your request. So if you need data from them, be very specific, keep a very concise email, and let them know what data you need and why and how it can ideally benefit them, or if you're paying for it, or what it's for. And if you aren't sure if they can provide it, try to do a little research to figure it out and to figure out how you might be able to contact them in the best way. But ultimately, I mean, sometimes you just have to ask and just say, I'm writing a book, and this is what the book's about, and this is what I need. Can you help me? And some people will say no. But I think the easier you make it for people to say yes, the more likely they are going to say yes. Most of us feel bad when we have to turn somebody down. So Reddit can be good too. I haven't personally used Reddit, so I can't give you the tutorial like I can with Quora, but Reddit, I've heard people use Reddit as well. So thank you for chiming that in, Mike. I appreciate it. Ron's in the house. Hello. Awesome. Bree says, I want to target other employees who've had similar or same experiences while also targeting the culprits of those experiences. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. For recommend for you, like for research, I mean, so it's the culprit, whatever the culprit was, I assume that means they're victims of something. So I would start researching that piece. And I mean, the more you are the ideal reader, the less reader research you have to do. But a lot of us are writing a book 10, 20 years after whatever it is that we've experienced. So we're really not any longer in the minds of what that ideal reader is thinking and feeling. So that's why you have to do the reader research. Okay, LinkedIn, yes. So that's great. Thanks, Ron. That's actually the next point I was going to say. So LinkedIn is also a great place. You can read the articles, you can connect with a lot of people through LinkedIn in a professional way. And some people are much more responsive on LinkedIn than anywhere else. I know a lot of people message me on Facebook, and I go on and Facebook for a very specific purpose, and I leave. And if I don't respond to somebody immediately on Facebook, I often forget because it's just something that I'm usually going on to post on our Book Launchers client page, or I'm going on to research something really quickly, or to comment on one of these groups that I'm talking about. And I go in, do that, and I leave, and then I forget to come back to these other notifications that have come in. So for me, Facebook is a terrible way to contact me. And so you got to kind of try different methods and find where people are responsive. And LinkedIn can be a great way to get a response and stand out from the noise. So the culprits are those who cause the bad experiences. But I'm not sure, what would you recommend for me? I'm not sure what specific thing I can help you with, Bree. So if you could be more specific, that would be fantastic. For ghostwriters, I mean, I'll try to come back to that one. Angela, can you remind me to come back and answer how do you find ghostwriters? Because I want to just cover the rest of the market research here. Now, while we're paused, actually, let's do a prize. I'm going to do one of the YouTube ones, and I didn't print them all off. I've got them in a random name picker. So everybody who comments the day a video is released every Tuesday and Friday, they get entered to win, of course, our Oh So Soft journal, or our #NoBoringBooks mug, which was full of coffee today. So I'll be very careful moving it so I don't get splashed with coffee again. All right, so drum roll, and I'll try not to hit the table so the computer doesn't shake. And here we go. The winner is Self-Publishing with Dale. I'm going to draw another one. Sorry, he won't mind that I drew. If he was here, which I don't think I've seen him in the house today, he would have said pick somebody else. So on his behalf, I'm going to pick another name. So here we go. We're drawing another name. It's randomly picking, and the winner is, oops, where'd it go? The winner is Benjamin Preston. Woo! I don't know if he's watching right now, but I'm pretty sure he'll be watching later. So congratulations, Ben. Thank you so much for all your comments on the videos. Yay! So let us know if you want the mug or the journal. Team, TEAM @booklaunchers.com. And Angela, can you make a note? We can just email him. We know where to find Ben. Okay, awesome. Oh my goodness, it's 3 a.m. in India. Thanks for joining us, Harsh. I know you're in the draw too. I saw your name in there quite a few times. Guy 47. I'm a millennial trying to figure out how to cater my book towards my target audience of teens. Any recommendations? I think, the same stuff stands. I mean, they're probably not commenting on Quora, and they're not even probably involved on Facebook, but go to where they are and listen to who they're listening to. So TikTok, a lot of them are on TikTok, Instagram, and read the comments, read what people are saying, read what they're responding to. And as much as you can, ask people who are already either in that or very closely associated with teens, what you're writing about, and just try to get your research that way. It's tricky sometimes, but there's always a way. It's, look around to see who else already has these teens in their audience. That's usually where I start. Okay. They know where to find us. Some of you, we know where to find some of you, Brian, not all. Okay. YouTube also, by the way, just thinking of teens, YouTube, a lot of them are very active on YouTube, but it's a matter of figuring out who they're listening to, because of course YouTube has age restrictions and things like that. So a lot of people under 18 are using their parents' accounts, so it can be hard to figure out who's who, to a point. So it's tricky, but again, who has your ideal reader in their audience, and start there and start to kind of follow down the rabbit hole a little bit. Podcasts as well. There's lots. So the other thing I do is I dig into Amazon. So I look at the books that I think I'll be competing with, the ones that have come up in this research already that people are already reading. And so when I look at the Amazon books and the reviews, what I typically do is I don't read very many of the good reviews. I go straight to the 3 stars and the 2 stars. Most of the 1 stars I ignore, because usually a 1 star is somebody who didn't read the book and has a vendetta against the author. But 2 stars and 3 stars, and even some 4 stars, they tend to offer constructive criticism that you can learn from. And this is where I like to find the gaps in a book to figure out what I can do that's a little bit differently in my book or in somebody else's book. And look, so where they say is, this was a very useful book, but it doesn't address the emotional aspect of dealing with cancer. Or this was a very good book in terms of the recipes, but I was really looking for somebody to explain X. Or this book is great for such and such person, but for me in this situation, this is what I was looking for. So those kind of comments are golden. If this is a book that's very similar or in the genre or targeting the same people that you want to target, that kind of research is really, really informative, especially if you start to see that comment come up over and over, because now and one of the things, I did a lot of research when I was, every time I start a business, I do an insane amount of research. And then I'm usually, once the business is rolling, I'm too busy to do the research. But when I was starting my real estate training and education company, I knew all of the Canadian real estate training companies and what they were teaching. Even the American ones, I knew a lot of them. And I got to know what people liked and didn't like. And when I was writing my book, I knew that one of the big complaints people had was that all the training materials and everything really skipped discussing the things that can go wrong. It was all focused on trying to motivate you to go and do this. So they just kept, kind of kept your eye on the prize. But in the meantime, you didn't really know that there was a big pothole over here and a big broken toilet here and a big angry tenant there. And so you weren't really well prepared to avoid the risks and manage the risks and choose which risks you were okay with, because there's always risk, but you can choose what risks you're more comfortable with. And people weren't doing that. And that kept coming up over and over. And also the real side of it, like, come on, not every property makes boatloads of money, people. Some actually lose you money. Some cause you high stress and aren't worth the money that they make you. So that, that kind of information really sunk into me and allowed me to write a book that was extremely different than any other book on the market at that time. I also recommend, once you've got a list and you've gone through comments, that if you haven't already read the top 5 books in the category that you most want to compete in, you should do that. And even if you don't want to read them, buy them and flip through them and really get a sense of what they've done inside of their books, so you can make better choices for your book. That will help you immensely too. All right, let's do another draw. So Angela, let's do a draw from the folks that are here. And Kevin says he reads the 5 stars too, to read what they did right. And I agree. And I think it is worth skimming. So here's the thing though. How many of you get 5-star reviews from people that you like, that like you, that you know, and they, they just write sometimes what you want them to write. They write just something really nice. So the 5-star reviews, when you've got hundreds and hundreds of reviews, yeah, skim them, see what's standing out for sure. But if there's only 20 to 50 reviews, I don't give them a ton of merit because it's not often coming from what I would call fans of this subject or fans of the author. Angela, so let's do a prize. Let's go with, what is the date today? We are April 28th. So the 28th, let's go 28 people from, let's just see here. 28 people from, not the top. Let's go from one you guys could actually hear me. Let's go from Mike Hurd's 4 laughing faces at me. Thanks, Mike. Laughing at me for not only having no sound on, which actually worked in my favor, you guys, because you couldn't hear me. I probably swore when I spilt the coffee. And if anybody reads lips, you would have known what was going on. Anyways, so let's go 28 down from Mike Hurd's 4 laughing faces and let me know who wins the prize for participation today. Okay. And yes, it is. You can choose between the Oh So Soft Journal and the hashtag No Boring Books mug that has a little bit of coffee in it still, because I didn't spill all of it on me. All right. So while Angela's doing that, if you've just arrived, please do say hello. If you're watching in the replay afterwards, make sure you say hello then too. And especially if it's on Tuesday, because you'll still get entered to win for the next round, which, by the way, our next live stream is on May, I don't have the date, 2 weeks from today. And I'll be coming at you live from quarantine in Canada. We are heading back to Canada for 3 months to ride out to the coronavirus. LA is so locked down. For anybody who is not here, we have to wear masks everywhere we go. None of the parks, none of the trails, nothing is open. And, we live in an apartment and have a 3-year-old. And it's just been enough. We need some green space. We need to get out into the outdoors. So we always go back to Canada for 4 to 6 weeks in the summer anyway. So we're going to go back for a little bit longer. And so my next live streams will be coming at you from the garden shed at my parents' place, where we have to have a mandatory 14-day quarantine where we aren't allowed to go out into public or interact with anyone. So that'll be fun. But after that, we can have more fun. Anyway, so that's the next live stream. Okay, so Amazon, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say about Amazon. I also love using Publisher Rocket, and we've talked about them before, and I've got a couple more videos coming out where I actually do screen share a video into the video so you can see Publisher Rocket at work. But I like to then go in and research, make sure I haven't missed any books, see which ones are selling really well. And the cool thing about Rocket is that you can then see what sales volume is. And so this is good. I had somebody who's writing a book. Well, I can say the general category. It doesn't give you enough about keto and cancer, the keto diet and cancer. And she was kind of worried about sales. And so I went into Rocket and searched the keywords and looked at the sales volume. Oh my goodness, you guys. They're the one book, and a lot of the books that dealt with keto and cancer were selling just buckets and buckets. One of them was selling $40,000 worth of ebooks and $38,000 worth of print books, or vice versa. So, I think in total, it was a little bit more than that, because it was more than 80,000 in every month, and that was one book. But a lot of these books were selling a lot. Like, there's a really, really strong market. When you compare that to, I searched Joanna Penn has a how to write nonfiction book. Compare that, and I think she was selling $600 a month in ebooks and $1,200 in print on that. So very different markets. A little bit more general versus very niche. But Publisher Rocket gives you sales data. Now, a couple things to note is it is only Amazon. And some of authors are selling tons of books outside of Amazon. So Rocket only gives you that Amazon perspective. And you do have to click a couple different places because it only gives you ebook, and then in a different screen, it gives you print. But it's very useful. And you can also see which books are selling really well and how old they are, because that's the other thing when you're positioning your book is, if a lot of the best-selling books are 4 years old, which often is the case, think about what you're going to talk about that's different or new compared to those. So people really feel like they need to have the newest book on the market. So that's one other thing is Publisher Rocket. I think that's really the main things I wanted to touch on. So do you guys have any questions about reader research that I can address? And Mike, Mike won. Was that it? Was that what you said? Okay. Oh, and hey, there we go. Martha, I hope you don't mind me mentioning you. I'm not back in Canada yet, Martha. So we're heading back. So Thursday we're going to start driving up, and it won't be locked down in that I will have a backyard on a lake. So that alone will be a big difference than being in an apartment. So Rocket's very nice, gives you lots of really good data. So it allows really fast research. So that's great. And so I assume, Mike Hurd was the winner. So congratulations, Mike, but he would like to pass someone on. So Mike, do you want to pick? You can nominate somebody if you want. And if that's too much pressure, we'll just draw somebody else. But thank you for passing it on. So here we go. Oh, Angela. Oh, that's cool. So she went ahead and picked. I didn't know that. So Mike, you can still nominate. I'll stand by it. But Ron, do you have a mug? I don't know. If you don't have a mug, we'll definitely hook you up with a mug. Okay. And thank you for wishing me a safe trip. Poetry from the Heart should be okay as long as we can find places to go to the bathroom. Because things are going to be very locked down as we head north. We go to Nanaimo. So Martha was just asking where the backyard with the lake is. Nanaimo, British Columbia on Vancouver Island. That's where we'll be heading back. All right. So one last thing I wanted to mention is, so that was reader research. Metadata research is different. Metadata research, there's a couple of really good videos on the channel about it. You can even find the video on metadata where I rapped. I'm so cool. But there's also a video on keyword research, and the metadata research that you do. We do it in a couple ways. So we do use Publisher Rocket as well in order to look at the categories and the keywords and things like that. We also do we do Google keyword research as well, because we want to incorporate Google keywords into your book description so that when people are searching for a specific problem or topic that's related to your book has those keywords in the description, not just on Amazon, but you probably will use that description in a lot of different places, all the places your book gets sold, your own website. So we do that research as well as the Publisher Rocket. We also use another tool called KDP Spy, just to get another version of keyword research, just another perspective, because every tool works a little bit differently. There's a couple others out there that we've tested, but that's typically the three primary tools we use as far as that goes. And then we do our own kind of version of what I've just walked you through as we test out, figuring out what category makes sense. We look at the other books that are in that category, and we also look at the price points of competitive books to help come up with a price calculation. So there's a lot of other research that goes into this. And then topic research. I mean, we as a company don't do a lot of topic research for clients. We generally expect our clients to bring all materials, whether you're working with a ghostwriter or a writing coach on our team. We still expect our clients to be the subject matter experts. But I think research can involve a lot of things, talking to people, interviewing people, if you do podcasts, pulling some of the material out of your podcasts, reading other books in your genre, articles. I mean, the list is really, really long, but I really wanted to focus on reader research today. So hopefully you guys got some good tips from that. And I will come back to you, Bree. I didn't forget about that question. See, Jacqueline's chiming in. We do so much research. I didn't know you were here. Hey, Jacqueline, thanks for joining us. We do so much research, KDP Spy, Publisher Rocket, Google Keywords, all the things. And when do we hear June Bug Julie's country song? I haven't got it back from the editor yet. I'm really nervous about that one. I'm not a singer. I got all the speaking parts growing up, in school plays and things like that. I got the speaking parts, just to let you know about my voice. All right, we'll do another prize for people who are here. Let's see. Just trying to think of what we could do for a skill testing question. Oh, I know. I mentioned the name of one of our clients' books earlier today. So if you remember the name of the book that I talked about as somebody who had their ideal reader really dialed in, you can either name the client or the book, then that will be our prize for participation today. And yeah, thanks, Angela, for replying to people. So Bree, when it comes to ghostwriters, there's actually, I think, 3 different videos on my YouTube channel that walk you through working with ghostwriters and hiring a great ghostwriter. I can tell you that it really depends on what your expectations of what a ghostwriter is going to do for you. Because if you're thinking the ghostwriter is, like, some ghostwriters really essentially write the book. You give them a topic and an angle, a bit of an idea, and then they go and they do the research and they write the book for you. How we approach it is everybody starts working with our story expert, and our story expert helps you craft a hook for your book, get clear on your ideal reader, and then build an outline for your book. And then together you guys almost build a treatment, like a Hollywood treatment, so that every chapter kind of has bullet points or a sentence, like a paragraph of what is going to be accomplished in that chapter. And then that gets turned over to a writer, and the writer will either use materials from the client or solely interviews or a combination to then extract the material and put the words to it. And then we put it through very rigorous editing from there. So our writer is a different kind of writer than a lot of people when they hire a ghostwriter. Ultimately, if you hire ghostwriters, what you need to know is you're not hiring them to get a book. You don't get a book at the end of hiring a ghostwriter. You get a manuscript, and that manuscript is raw. It still needs editing. It still needs development. So that's one thing a lot of people miss. So, but check out those videos. I think they'll help you a lot. Okay, it was about mortgage advisors and digital technology. Yes, that's right. Do you remember what it was called? Or who wrote it? So that's good. I mean, Mike, you've already won once, so I don't have it on here, or I would flash it for you guys as a quick reminder. Okay, I'll let you guys worry about that for another minute, and I'll do one more draw from the YouTube commenters, and then I think that will be it. Once we get somebody who's found this. Oh, Martha! Woo! You did it! So Martha, email us at team@booklaunchers.com and let us know what you want for a prize, and we'll get that off to you. Your choice is the the hashtag No Boring Books mug, which I promise won't have coffee in it when we ship it to you, and the Oh So Soft journal. So let us know which of those you would like, and congratulations. It was bypassed by Alec Hansen. I believe it is on pre-sale. It is coming out soon. I don't know the launch date. That's where having Jacqueline and Sarah on here is always useful. Okay, let me just do one more draw before you guys leave me, and then we will call it a day. Okay. Hey, Efren, welcome. It's okay to be late. You can always catch what you missed on the replay afterwards. Okay, here we go. Drum roll, please. Da, 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 da. And hopefully, once I stop touching the table, it stops shaking. You guys stopped mentioning that. So I think it was just me shaking the table. Guy Blaise, congratulations. I don't think I saw him on here today, but he will probably be tuning into the replay. So congratulations. Email us at team@booklaunchers.com and let us know what prize you'd like. And thank you for your comments on the videos. It's always a pleasure to see what you have to say about the latest video on the channel. All right, so May 28th. I don't know what that date is. Oh, the launch date for Alec Hansen. Thank you. All right. So hopefully you guys are all geared up to go and do some great reader research. Let me know what you want to chat about in 2 weeks in the comments. I'm happy to prepare a show to answer the questions that you guys want me to cover. So thanks so much for being here today, you guys. And thanks for laughing along with me while I had no sound and spilled coffee to start the show. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. Bye. Oh, wait, May 9th, another Write with Julie session is happening. Zoom, Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to do another 2.5-hour writing session together. I'll be doing that from my quarantine, my garden shed, lakeside in Nanaimo, British Columbia, Canada. We'll be driving up on Thursday, hopefully arriving Saturday night. So I'll catch you guys then. Bye.